Hey everybody, hey, this is Slim Overton from Portsmouth Coffee Talk. Getting ready to go into the Victory Elementary School to have a conversation with two of the administrators of the Starbase program that's held here at Victory Elementary School. So stay tuned as I have a conversation and have a tour of the Starbase program and some of the wonderful things that they're doing here. So, Slim Overton from Portsmouth Coffee Talk. Stay tuned. And welcome everyone. This is James Slim Overton from Portsmouth Coffee Talk. You don't see me because I have two beautiful young ladies in front of me. And I'm here at Victory Elementary, the Starbase program. And we're going to talk to two of the young ladies here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to continue on. So,
all right. Hi, everyone. My name is Javita Walker, and I am the lead teacher here at Starbase Victory. And
I am Kelly Brewster, and I am in 4th grade Envirobase here at Starbase.
Okay, thanks for agreeing to be a part of the Portsmouth Coffee Talk, and we just wanted to come here and share some information to our viewers and listeners about this program. And let me start out with saying, asking rather, how long has this program been in existence here? Because I know it started about 1989 in Michigan from a Kellogg's Foundation grant.
Is that research?
That's the cereal people, right?
Not the cereal people. This is our 25th anniversary, I believe, in Starbase. Here in this facility, I do forget how long we've been here in this facility, but we have been in existence for over 20 years.
Okay, so it started then, it's a national program, so what or who, I think Rear Admiral Hayden sort of brought it here, started in Norfolk under a federal grant, but now it's here under private funding, with a 501(c)(3). Okay, and we'll talk about that later, but give us an overall view of a picture of the program and the children that it serves.
So here at Starbase, this is a STEM program, and we actually see every 4th, 5th, and 6th grader in Portsmouth. The students are bused from their schools over to us for a 4-day STEM experience. And during those 4 days, they get to do hands-on science activities, things like build rockets and launch rockets. They also get to take a look at oysters, and they discuss how oysters are important to us here in this area. We also have a base called Med Base where they learn different things about medicine and careers. We try in each base to have something that they take back with them, some hands-on activity that they take back with them. And we try to make this an experience that they wouldn't necessarily get in the regular classroom, some kind of hands-on activity. Jump in, Kelly, anytime.
Well, you're doing great.
Go ahead. Did you have?
So she's doing great.
Yeah, I will ask the question about and now, Victory Elementary is a regular elementary school, and
Correct.
The Starbase program is a partnership with the school system.
Correct.
So, as far as the program, do you have to attend here to be a part of it, or do you bus in children from other schools like Brighton and
We see all
Churchland?
13 schools, every elementary school here in Portsmouth, every 4th, 5th, and 6th grader in the whole district is bused to us for a 4-day experience.
So how do you have to qualify for the program,
No,
or
you
just
do not.
sign up?
You don't sign up. I actually go out to the schools and I meet with the teachers. I give them permission forms, so every student gets a permission form. It's not we're going to pick our highest students. Every student gets a permission form and gets an opportunity to come over to us and have this experience. So we start with one school. We see them for 4 days, and we just keep going till we actually see all 13 schools. And it takes us about the whole year to do that, but we see every child.
So what about the parental participation? Is that something that you encourage? Because I was talking to Lisa Hood yesterday, and we were talking about the new dual language immersion program, that in order for the students to participate, their parents have to be involved. And I don't know if it's a requirement for the parents to be involved in this program, but
It is not
definitely
a
helps.
requirement. It is not a requirement for the parents to be a part of this program. However, in the summer, we do appreciate the volunteers because we provide also, in addition to seeing all 4th, 5th, and 6th graders during the school year, we provide summer camps as well in the summer. So parental involvement it's always great to have them because we give the kids a cookout every Thursday. So we always look for help on things like that, field trips, and even a trip we talk about going to D.C. to Air and Space Museum in the summer. So we look for parental involvement with things like that.
And you know, in the news climate today, I guess the word is, if it bleeds, it leads. So you see a lot of news stories about involving our youth often that are negative stories. So it's very important to get the word out about what these students are doing. And I think you had a gala not too long ago.
We did.
It's important to recognize so the students can recognize or be recognized for what they do. And the videos I've seen on YouTube, they really are involved and really get into what they're doing, but it's not always known throughout the city or Hampton Roads.
Right,
for
that's
that matter.
kept secret right here.
Right. So what do you all do to make sure, I guess this is one way, but other than this, what do you do to make sure, first you have to get the parents involved, but how do you get other people? I guess the gala is one thing. I'm asking and answering questions at the same time, but I'll let you answer that. What do you do to get the word out about these students?
We do have our social media pages. We do have a Facebook and an Instagram page. But there are other things that we do too as well. If there's a community event, we try to go out and participate and be a part of that event and take some hands-on activity, quick STEM activity to show. So when we're invited, we go out. If there's a festival or something going on and we're invited, if it's within our power, we try to go and get the word out about Starbase. Even with parents, when the kids come here for their 4-day experience, each base makes a slideshow, and the kids are able to take that slideshow and go home and show the parents, what we did and what activity or what we were trying to accomplish here. So there are probably a million videos out there that our kids have made slideshows showing the different things that we do here. And I especially encourage them, go home, show this to your parents. When mom asks you, what did you do today? You pull this out and say, well, this is what I did today. And they can show these videos. So just a lot of word of mouth, hoping that the children, remember these experiences and tell someone else. There's so many times when, believe it or not, when we go out and we have this Starbase song, we can walk into Walmart and we're rock stars.
Oh, yes.
We're rock stars. So, and we get kids coming back saying, I remember that experience, so a lot of word of mouth. Matter of fact, this very week we had a Norfolk State students. We've been having Norfolk State students do observation, and one young lady came up and said, do you remember me? And she said, you taught me, and she went on to tell me, and she's a biology major now at Norfolk State. So just this experience, the kids remember, and they go out and they talk about it, and they tell people about it. Even when they're talking with cousins or different things, they tell them, you don't have a Starbase? What? You didn't get to
it's a
build the
normal
rocket.
thing for them. Yeah.
Right, you didn't build the rocket. And kids tell me, my cousin already went through the program and they have their rocket. So it's, just a lot of word of mouth and Facebook and Instagram and
PTA meetings.
PTA and any way that we can get the word out, we get the word out. This is an awesome program and we want you to know it.
So how does it fit into the regular curriculum of the school, actually? I know it's a partnership with the public school district, and so how does it fit into their actual curriculum? Do they get credit for their participation in this as far as their schoolwork?
Now, some teachers do use what we do, but we are teachers, Portsmouth Public Schools teachers, certified teachers, and to be a teacher here at Starbase, you have to have a master's degree, you have to be a certified teacher. But when we write this curriculum, with the hopes that it's going to help with the things that the teachers are doing in the classroom. This particular base, arrow base, if you look behind you, you see a coordinate grid. Well, this is a math lesson that they're working on in 5th grade. So you come over and we work on coordinate grid here. So we're reinforcing what you're doing in the classroom, what the teachers are doing. We're teachers ourselves. We look at the curriculum and we know what SOLs need to be worked on, or which ones that especially need attention. And that's what we try to do. Ms. Brewster here, a big one is what you do, Ms. Brewster, and we talk about watersheds and the Chesapeake Bay, and all of this is on the SOLs, and so we are able to take and reinforce what's being taught in the classroom. And the great thing about it, we're teachers ourselves, we know what it takes.
And it is written cross-curricular. So, for instance, we do the watershed, but we also do the rivers that flow into the watershed. And so we support Virginia Studies in the 4th grade with that. They engineer a filter to clean dirty water like the aquatic filter feeders do. So they're given dirty water and they put that into a filter that they've engineered, and they've had $100 of course, pretend money to purchase some items in a kit that they're given. And so that checks the math box. They graph their data. So it is, cross-curricular.
So that's so important for our future. I don't want to get into politics here, but we have a lot of people that don't believe the science, and I guess you all are starting at ages of 4, 5, and 6, and making sure they know how important protecting the environment and understanding their environment. So I guess that's a big part of what you all try to convey to the students.
Environmental stewardship.
Making sure you start young. And so they won't be those non-believers when they become adults.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let me ask this about, it's a lot of talk about AI and how it might, be something that might hurt us or help us, or take jobs away. Will that ever be a part of what you all do here? I'm sure it's going to be a part of what STEM is all about at some point. Are you all getting into that now, or is it a little too soon to get into the AI part of it?
We haven't really gotten into AI a lot here. I can't say that we won't get into it, but it's just like you said, it does,
I
it's
guess this can be a prerequisite for that in the future. I don't know.
As of yet.
Not yet. We haven't got to it yet.
Well, this is more scientific based, and right now, AI. I just thought I'd bring that up because, you hear a lot of talk about it, and people are concerned about, and I think, you might have to accept it at one point, and figure out what can you do job-wise is worrying about jobs being taken away. But that's just my thing. I just brought that up.
It's an important piece.
Thanks for agreeing with me on that. But anyway, so what are some of the programs? I know you have a summer program, and the students come after school, or do you have programs during the school day, or how does that work? I know the summer program is a big part of what you do with student volunteers and things like that.
So as I told you, we see every 4th, 5th, and 6th grader, and so they actually get on a bus over at their home school at about 9:30 in the morning. Most of the time they're here to us by 10 o'clock. So they stay with us from 10 to around 1:15, and then they get on the bus and go back to their home school. So they get that 4 days in a row, 4-day experience. So they're actually bused to us every 4th, 5th, and 6th grader.
Okay. And you mentioned about getting the parents involved. Well, I mentioned that, and I think I like the fact that you mentioned about one of the students from Norfolk State coming back and telling you, and that's probably one of the ultimate things for a teacher to have, a former student to come back and say, hey, you helped me out. So do you all have anything, or do you all really track one of the things is that can regulate the success of a program is being able to track or follow what the students that came through the program, what they're doing now. So that's one example you mentioned, but do you have anything that way you formally do that?
We do not have a formal way that we are able to track the students. However, we've come across many that come back to us and they say, because even after going through this experience, so many kids, the ones that are seriously interested, they come back to our summer camps and they're volunteers, and in college they volunteer. And so there are so many that just keep in contact with us, period. Make videos for us. Although we don't track them all, if we find one and they're successful, we'll ask them, hey, can you make a video for us just so we can play for the other kids? So we, when we have that opportunity, we do that.
I'm smiling because I was reminded yesterday of Delegate Nadarius Clark. And he went to my college. He went to Virginia Union, so we're very proud of him. But I didn't know he came all the way through this program, and that's definitely a success story.
Absolutely.
Of what can happen coming through this program. It can enhance what they're already doing.
Right.
So, what would you say to if you had the opportunity to sit down and talk to some parents? What would you say to them? Is trying to letting them know how important it is to get their child or children involved in the STEM program, where they might not be interested or looking at it, but what would you say to the parents? Because sometimes ultimately it's the parents that sort of guide their students in that direction. So what would you say to
in EnviroBase, we're the 4th grade program, so we see the students before they've ever been here. And so our day one is to ask them, what is STEM? What do you think that STEM is? And so we actually introduce the STEM program to them and explain, even though you have science at your school, you have math at your school, we do it all encompassing. And so we teach the whole STEM program as not just science and then technology and then engineering and then math, but to go back again to the filter that we build on day 3 and day 4. They're doing the science, they're using the technology, they're doing the engineering, they're doing the math, they're doing that all together. They're up and they're down and they're moving, and they're 100% student driven. And unfortunately, we don't quite get that in the traditional classroom anymore.
Right.
So that would be my way to advocate for that.
And one other thing I like about it kind of promotes critical thinking,
Absolutely.
which
Yes.
you don't see as much as far as a classroom course or something like that. Because I remember coming up, we had classes in critical thinking, trying to teach us to use our minds. So this is something that really promotes that and helps the children use their mind.
And we do have a big focus on teamwork also, so they learn their social skills as well.
Very big focus on teamwork and presenting. The one thing we do is each base we present a question or a problem that we're trying to solve, so that critical thinking comes in there. With that 4th grade program, we present that, is our water clean? Is this water, we're surrounded by water, Chesapeake Bay and all, is it clean? And are you a good environmental steward? Are you doing your part?
Right.
We also do that with our 6th grade program. We talk about Mars, and can we build a colony on Mars? Well, why would we want to do that in the first place? And we go into what are some reasons that we may want to build that colony on Mars, and we talk about if ever there's the demise of Earth, something happens to Earth, could we build that colony? What would it take? And so when you come, we're presented with something that's going to cause the kids to think, something scientific that's going to cause them to think.
Right.
And each one of our programs goes with a theme, where they're presented with this and they're thinking critically the whole time, how do I solve this problem? Am I doing what I can do to solve or to help?
Well, you have to be prepared for that big asteroid that's going to, we see in all the movies, that's going to hit Earth.
Well, you know what?
It took out the dinosaurs, right?
Well, that's funny, because that's one thing, when we ask the kids, okay, why would we want to build a colony on Mars? And they think, well, because in case the asteroid comes and hits Earth, we need to be able to go to Mars. So where we laugh about that, and that's the big joke and all, that is one of the things that we talk about. This could happen, one kid
It's been happening.
It's been happening. A child told me this week, well, we might want to go to Mars because we're destroying the Earth. He thought about that,
Yeah.
Why would we want to go to Mars?
And hopefully, starting young like this, we can reverse some of those things that we are destroying.
And I had said yesterday, we were talking about photosynthesis, and of course students learn photosynthesis.
Well, I hadn't heard that word since I was in elementary.
And that oxygen comes from plants,
right.
but what they don't realize is that 90% of the oxygen that we breathe on land comes from the ocean.
Oh.
It comes from the water.
Right.
And so, that is why we need to keep that water clean. If it's polluted, then it blocks the sunlight from getting in there. And so that's why it's so very important to make sure that we clean all of that up. Mm-hmm. And I relate that to the Portsmouth City Park, because our local watershed is the Elizabeth River, and they don't realize that that is the name of the river that's right there. And so I have them raise their hands if you've ever been to City Park. They all have. That's the Elizabeth River. And they're like, wow, like they've never noticed that there was water there before. So yesterday or this morning, one of the little girls, before she could even get in the building, she's running from the bus, and she's like, we could have call signs. So I go by Coral. She's like, Coral, we picked up all the trash at City Park. I had my mama take me to City Park yesterday, and we picked up all the trash at City Park. So she's just going to save the world, her little self.
But see, that's amazing to me. All by herself, she's going to save the world.
Yeah, and she probably wouldn't even have those thoughts if it wasn't for programs like this.
Right.
And so as we talk about programs like this, and it's a partnership, but it's also private funding. So that's when we want to bring you in, Lisa Hood. If you can move over here and you can talk about.
You're doing a great job.
We're going to move.
More excited about listening to you guys.
Oh yeah, they're really informing us. Now, these programs have to be funded, and we mentioned about when it came to Norfolk, it was federally funded, but coming over to Portsmouth, it's privately funded. So a foundation has been formed, and you have a group of individuals. And I looked at that list of some of the people you have. Wow. Very impressive list, of some of the people and some of the things they can offer too. So you have been executive director over all these people and the program per se. So how do you go about funding the program? I know fundraisers or whatever. So.
Well, first I have to always give credit to T-Ball, which is retired Admiral William Paving, who founded Starbase Victory. And as you stated, Starbase was a federal funded program and was across the country. But when it was ending, T-Ball wanted to continue it so much that he moved from Norfolk over to Portsmouth, introducing it to Dr. Stuck, which was the superintendent at the time, to stand up this program. It is unique and is currently the only private-public partnership that is funded by private organizations, and we do have a Starbase board, Starbase Victory Incorporated, our 501c3, which funds and supplements working in partnership with the Portsmouth Public School. So it is a very unique program. You won't find it anywhere else in the country the way it is set up. So we actually grew in 2002 from that federal program to what you see today.
Yeah, and you do take private donations. So if someone wanted to donate to the program, how would they do that?
Absolutely. We have several means to do that. Of course, you mentioned the gala that we have. We go after corporate and private funding as well. There's a donation click on our website. You can always donate. We can get tax credits. We do the neighborhood assistance program. So if you, a corporation or an individual, wants to donate, you can get Virginia tax credits as a part of your refund for doing that. And we have pretty good responses from our business and local community. We're really excited about the fact that our big contributors endorsed by City Council this past year. We've got support with people such as Senator Louise Lucas and Delegate Don Scott and our business community, our commissioners. So we're really excited about the money that we've been able, and our historic, if you notice the partner wall over there, you'll see lots of our contributors from the past 20 plus years that have supported Starbase Victory. And I think it's because, as our instructors indicated, it's important what we're doing. It truly is an investment in our youth.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's an investment in our youth, and how can anybody turn that down? I want to go back to the teachers there for a minute. As far as the programming, what you have the science, technology, engineering, and math. Are they like equally? What do the students gravitate to the most? That's what I'm asking. Is it sort of equal? Technology?
Technology.
And that makes sense, right?
Technology. They honestly, when they see you see back the RVR cars, one of the things when we have display cabinets, one of the things when they hit the door before they ever see anything else, they notice the 3D printers. And there's a fascination about 3D printers. So any kind of technology, we have drones that we fly, we have Spiro robots, we have Ozobots. Anytime the technology comes out, these kids are just amazed and ready.
I know in the beginning, rockets was the big thing with a lot of the videos I watched that were 10 years old or 15 years old.
We still launch those rockets.
Still launch those rockets. So, you said technology is the most popular, but do the students have to be involved in each one of those four?
Well,
in order to.
It's all wrapped up.
It's
all wrapped up
in your
one.
4-day experience. You're going to get some of all of that. You're going to get technology. You're going to get the math. You're going to get you're going to build something. So you're going to get all of them.
That's one of the things that makes the program so unique, because it is all encompassing. You know, you don't just get an appreciation for just one aspect, whether it be technology or math. You're integrating all of the aspects of STEM. And so
because they all
away.
work hand in hand
Exactly.
together.
And
you can't do one without the other.
The teachers do a great, I've seen them personally work towards with the interactive exercises of melding all of that together. And so you get an appreciation for all of it, and appreciation for how it has to work together in order to be successful.
Okay, I think that's about it, unless you have something that you would like to add before we wrap up and take a look at some of the things you want to show me here.
Well, I want to say this.
Yes, go ahead.
Our treasurer, Robert Fogel, I'm going to give him a shout out, on one of his videos said there were 3 reasons why he loves Starbase, and I totally agree with him. One of the reasons is because of the uniqueness of the program. 2 is what you see before you today. And 3 is because of the children. So we're looking to brand, we're looking to be the best kept secret no more. And I just think, our appreciation for the love of what these instructors do here every day and impacting our kids is just awesome.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And we hope to continue to come here. I want to come back during the summer program. Absolutely. And maybe, I probably would want permission from the parents if I ever film some of the children. I think if it's more of a public thing, it's no problem, but anyway, we'll come back and we'll continue to follow this program, and hopefully we are welcome to come back here anytime. I want to ask you one more thing. How, if someone wants to volunteer to help you out, how do they do that, and what kind of criteria do they have to pass any kind of security clearance? I know that's required anytime you work in the school system.
Yes.
So.
Yes, but you just contact our office, and they actually the school uses a system now through your driver's license where they're able to check and see.
But for the board, we're not quite as stringent. There is some requirements, so definitely contact us on the website. We do have a community outreach program, so we tend to not engross the daily functioning of the school, because again, our children are our jewels, and so we have to have stringent requirements. But to volunteer to support the Starbase organization, definitely contact us on Facebook, or we need volunteers to help. We were just talking yesterday, grabbing the logistics for the summer camps, helping with chaperones for our field trips, helping to secure some of the equipment. We have a great volunteer workforce. We're looking for more folks because we work our teachers a lot. And we want to give them a break too, so that they can enjoy a little bit of their summer and get ready for the next year. So if you're definitely interested in volunteering, please contact us.
Yeah, because I saw one, I think Rear Admiral Hayden was talking about some of these things you all have to put together as volunteers, and it takes a lot. And over a course of a time, you might service 500 students or something like that.
We do, and
We
speak
call
or
rocket
more.
building parties. We all
Yeah, we
get
do.
together. We spend hours building these rockets and the engines and all the things.
And we do, speaking of camp, we do see most summers over 500 kids for a free summer camp. So
That's the key point.
It is a
Free.
it's free. We offer the same STEM things, except more hands-on. We take a field trip every single week. We have a cookout every week, and these things do require volunteers, and it's like all hands. It takes a lot of planning for that, all hands on deck. So
It's a $6 registration fee to register, but if that's a problem, they just need to contact us, because I'm sure we can get a whole lot of $6 to register a child
Right,
for
sure,
a free
you can get
program.
that. And you don't want any kid,
No,
a student,
absolutely.
to miss out on something that might help them in the future.
And we do some experiences in those summer camps the kids may not get any other time. On one of our camps, they go kayaking.
Wow.
You know, and you think
I've
about
done
when,
that. And I flipped over.
we take every kid gets in a kayak, and they go out, and we take them to air and space, you know, which they may not get another chance to do. Again, we take them all the way to DC to air and space. We take them to visit ships, you know, and some of them, they see these ships all the time, but never get the opportunity to actually get on that ship and see what's going on. So we offer all of this in the summer as, you know, a free program. Like I say, a lot of summers we see about 500 kids.
And that's
for
so
this
important,
program.
because getting that exposure to things that they might not necessarily see.
Absolutely.
You never know what you might be cultivating right there in that kid. You might be the next astronaut, might be the next president of the United States that believes in climate control. How do I get one of those cool shirts?
When you come back, we're going to give you not only this cool shirt, we're going to make you one of our first Starbase ambassadors.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm honored. I'm honored to be
So-
glad to be a part of it.
We would love for you to be an ambassador, so we will make sure we take care of you. There's a criteria that comes with it, which means you got to talk about us all the time.
Oh, I have no problem with that. Okay, well, ladies, thank you. I really appreciate the conversation, and we'll get ready to have the tour.
All right.
All right, everybody watching, and thanks a lot. And just stay tuned. We'll be taking a tour in a little bit. Take care. All right, we're back. This is Slim Overton from Boston Coffee Talk, and we are taking a little tour of. We're at Victory Elementary in the Starbase section of the school, and we're taking a little tour here. So, go ahead, you can start.
So this is our 4th grade program, which focuses on environmental science. Everything that you see in this classroom has something to do with the environment, and you see each kid gets a booklet with a call sign. We give each child their own t-shirt to wear while they're here, like their uniform, to be an environmental steward. Jump in, Lucy.
Yep. So this is our EnviroScape model. So this is like our watershed, and this is where they dump all different types of pollutants. So we can have chemical spills, we can have trash. This is our sewage area. So their favorite is to dump the pretend cocoa poop all over the place. And then they dump water on top of it, which shows runoff, and it goes into this bottom, so they can see how that affects our local watershed and the Chesapeake Bay. One way to stop that is to plant grasses. So they build their grass heads with the grass seed and some cups and stockings, and they decorate these with all the fun, cool things that kind of just reminds them of their environmental task that they chose.
Wow, that's amazing. All I did was cut grass when I was growing up.
Oh, we have to cut this grass too. So I cut the grass. And then we learn about runoff. That's their lab set up for the next school, their day one. We have our aquarium so they can see how Herbie, my hermit crab, needs to have clean water, and our oysters are filter feeding over there. And we have our filters that we build. We learn about the different spheres of the earth that are back there.
You have all the different cities and states
Yep, our Elizabeth
represented.
River is over there as well. They learn about the internal parts of the oyster because they are the biggest filter feeder, and the life cycle of the oyster. So that's a little bit about the EnviroBase 4th grade program.
So when you have these classes, how long would one of these classes last? I know some 4th graders and 5th graders and 6th, there's attention spans.
Well,
but
they're
when
up
you
and
have,
moving.
they're up and
They're up
moving.
and moving and going. They
As
work
long as
in
they're
teams.
active, you know.
Yep, they always have different things that they do. They collaborate, they design. they, engineer, they record, so they're always up and doing something.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we actually have 2 of these classrooms that are set up just like this for our 4th grade students. Here, we always love our display cases. In our display case here, again, it reminds our students and it gives them that question, are you an environmental steward? And it shows a healthy environment, oyster garden, and this one is an unhealthy one. It shows what pollution does to an oyster garden here. So this just here as a reminder.
Well, these are some things that adults might need to know.
Well, and they can take that home to their parents.
Because certain generations, we just didn't think about these things. We took it for granted.
So
This is a duplicate.
Another one.
duplicate of that same classroom. So now we are moving around to, this is our 5th grade hall. Our 5th grade focus is on medicine. It's called MedBase. We focus on medical careers. And the kids get to actually learn about different careers in medicine. We're going to go in, but here's our display for this one. We also talk about, these are our 3D printers. We talk about how this is the future of medicine because now doctors, a lot of things that bones, we can 3D print them. We can do different things. So we use our 3D printers to show, and we have we print out things that the kids can keep. We can actually print out a replicate of the chickenpox virus, and the kids are able to keep that. So this is a big fascination with the kids.
I remember the chickenpox.
The chickenpox virus. We actually have that virus around here, the chickenpox virus.
So this is the 5th grade med base, and every child gets a scrub top, and then their call signs have something to do with medical terminology.
Oh, okay.
And
do they deal much with the heart? I'm a heart transplant
they do,
recipient.
Actually, it's funny you asked that. Heart transplant.
Yes, 9 years now.
So actually, you see this, the human heart, and it shows how the blood moves through.
Oh,
And so it
okay.
has blood with oxygen in it, and then the deoxygenized blood is on this side, and they get to do with red food coloring. It's not very full right now.
Yeah, it's not very full.
They squeeze it and it shows how it goes from having oxygen to then not having oxygen, and how it gets oxygen back in it. They draw and color a diagram of the heart so they can learn the different valves and the different chambers of the heart.
Okay,
They
I'm
learn
glad I
CPR
asked that question.
with real CPR dummies on the last day. And so they're teamed up to do that, hands-only CPR here. They have x-rays where they identify the parts of the skeleton, which is right there.
Just the bones.
And they look at their x-rays in these little x-ray machines, and they identify the part of the body. This would be a foot, and then they have to identify, is the bone broken, is it fixed, or is it...
So we actually put it on a light box, and these light up, and they can actually identify. They look at it to see if they can figure out. Now this one, of course, has been fixed because it has pins in it.
Yeah. And so
Wow,
then they
what a-
learn to read that.
What a great opportunity for their young minds
And then they have
to
real
get
surgical
this that
tools.
early.
Yeah.
So these are surgical tools that they actually get to look at a surgeon would use, and we actually got this from a surgeon. So they look at the different tools.
So I guess every once in a while you all have guests that are actual doctors that might
We have
come.
guests, we have rescue has come out and talk to the kids. We've had forensic scientists come out and talk with the kids. Most of that goes on during the summer in our summer program. These are medical doctor bags, actual true. So they did the stethoscopes to the chest to the heart. They use the pulse oximeter to take the pulse. They have digital thermometers that they learn how to use. And then they also learn about forensic science. So there is a real crime when Apollo 11 went up to the moon. They brought back 3 moon rocks. And then they were in the Johnson Space Center at NASA until 2002, and someone stole them, which is a true story. And so
I heard
they're
about
given the actual police report and evidence, and then the kids work through a station to try to identify the suspect. So there's a handwriting analysis station that they go to. They look at fingerprints. They also do the shoe print impression. There was a shoe print left behind. There were, he cut himself on the way out, so they have blood spatter that they look at, and then the height analysis.
So they actually get a chance to, those shows they watch on TV,
Yes.
they actually get a chance to sort of play the role of what they see
So they
in
can
real life,
compare,
in real
like,
time.
This was the footprint left. So they actually, by the end, and to this footprint, they go through each station. By the end, they know who did the crime.
Wow.
This is all, oh, we skipped a part over here. Back over here, this is what's called patient zero. And kids learn, we use an actual robot, and the robot goes through with patient zero. This is Toby and Gabby. But this shows how a student can actually leave home and all the people they interact with, and along the way, they're passing. This child had strep throat or chicken pox.
Toby wakes up in the morning, he hugs his sister Gabby, she's not feeling well, and
So
we
we
come to find out she has the chicken pox, and he went to school after being
And
exposed.
how
So
it can
now-
spread.
So we recreate
So
that news.
yeah, so now Gabby has it, and then of course she said something to the bus driver, and so we look, and how many times did we spread that chicken pot? Talk to George along the way that day, and everything that went beside Noah in the cafeteria, and it shows how fast the chicken pox virus can spread around.
Wow.
And then the last one that they do is they're given these QR codes that they scan with their iPads.
Oh, that's
And you say this is the 5th grade.
this is our fifth
So
grade.
once they start the program in the 4th, they just continue to go through up until the 6th. So
Until
each
6th.
grade has their own specialty.
Yeah, each base has a theme.
That's okay.
And
Thing.
so, of course, as we said, 4th grade was environment. This is medical, and in just a minute we'll talk about our 6th grade theme.
Okay.
So,
So they just scan the little QR codes, and then they use the dichotomous key to identify. This will pop up a picture of a virus or a bacteria. They first determine if it's a virus or a bacteria. They use this dichotomous key to find out, is it tetanus, is it strep throat, is it food poisoning, and they learn how to read that. And then at the end of every day, or at the beginning, depending, they do like a do I see me there. So they research the career, what's the educational pathway to get there, what's the salary for that, do they work alone, do they work with other people, is it inside, is it outside, what are some things they like about it, what are some things that they don't like about it, and then they answer the final question, do I see me there? And they just would choose yes because or no because.
Wow. We talked about tracking the students.
yes.
Take a long time to track a doctor, but
Takes a very long time.
yes.
We've been here long enough.
Yes.
So this is our 5th grade program. And we got one more, which is our 6th grade program. I always like to joke out this. So this is the fun one. All right.
I see what you mean about kind of outgrowing,
Yes.
the more students you have.
We definitely could use a bigger
Now,
facility.
this program is just for Portsmouth students.
Yes.
So are there any other programs like this in the Hampton Roads area, or
Not
we have
that
sort
we
of?
know. No. We're the one and only.
Oh, okay. Well,
All right, so this is our 6th grade program, and this is on a focus of going to Mars.
Oh,
Can we
okay.
build a colony on Mars?
you ready for that asteroid?
And so, absolutely. So again, like I told you with our display cases, we try to, as they're walking in for the first time, we try to present that question to them: can we build this colony on Mars? And the whole 4 days that they're here, they're trying to do just that. So we're gonna step in here. We're gonna step in.
Okay.
So this is our 5th grade program.
Okay.
Mission to Mars. Now, on the 4 days that they're here, everything that they're doing is centered around trying to build that colony on Mars. So on day 1, when they come in, they talk about that plan and what would we need to do to get to Mars. Also, on day one, we assign a portion of our colony to Mars to a group. So everybody's working as a team, and we like to tell them if any part of your team failed, then we're all gonna perish. So they always like, oh, okay, we got to do this. So in building that, we build a rocket because we need a way to get to Mars, correct?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So we build a rocket. We actually talk about when we get to Mars, what then. So when we're there, this is our drone room. We get there. We're going to fly our drones around Mars. So this is our Mars drone room. And we take drones and we fly around, because if we actually had a colony on Mars, we would need to be able to get things from one point to another on Mars. And I'm looking around our drone. All my new drones are gone.
Well, here's the famous rockets.
Those are our rockets.
Or the launchers.
Let me pull out. These are our drones. We do have a different drone, but these drones, and we put them inside of our drone room here, and we try to maneuver around, and we have bullseye on the back. So we try to think about if we needed to move things from one point in Mars to another, how would we do it? How would we code these drones to get it there? We have a volcano over in the corner. You got to avoid our volcano when we're flying our drones.
Oh, it's a real challenge.
It's a real challenge. So in this, the kids get a little bit about coding. With this, we do very basic coding, but it is an introduction. So again, kids start, we offer this introduction, and they get to think, would I like to be a drone pilot one day? Because this is a pilot. You have to be a certified pilot to fly a drone. Drone pilot, but certified pilot.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yes.
I'm here learning something. Let me get this picture of these astronauts here.
Also,
oh, wow.
in trying to build our colony on Mars, we actually try to create a Lego model of what it is we want to build on Mars. Actual physical model. And if you look at this would be a station on Mars that we create, and this is another group. Each team created their own station on Mars. On day 4, those rockets that you saw around there, we build those on day 2. On day 4, we actually go outside, we launch those rockets, because again, like I said, we need a way to get to Mars.
So do you ever think it'll be like a global cooperation or collaboration as far as the space, and forget about the space race, and is that something you see it in the movie? You think about the movies you see about the asteroids and all those things, and you see it in the movies, and next thing you know, it's reality. But because the movies are based on the research they do.
Reality, and there is, believe it or not only NASA trying to get to Mars now, but SpaceX, who's owned by Elon Musk, and we talk about that in this class. And again, we talk about why is there this need to do this. Again, we don't know that whole joke about the asteroid. We don't know. Something really could happen to Earth and the planet. That from our research, the planet that is most hospitable, and it's not hospitable at all, is Mars. That's it. That's the closest thing to Earth we have.
It doesn't have to be asteroids. It could be the volcano or earthquake.
Right.
All of a sudden acting up all over the world. But
so the closest thing that we have to mimic Earth, and like I said, it's really not hospitable on Mars at all, because the temperatures are frigid cold in the negatives. That there's only about 1% oxygen there. There's radiation all around it. But again, the closest thing we have to Earth, Mars.
And how long does it take to get to Mars?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years. But we talk about that if we're going to.
That's when it's good to be born on a leap year.
It's funny you asked that, because in talking about going to Mars and our teams and our students doing that, we talk about first we get ready to go. We have to go down to Johnson Space Center to train for a year. Then we have to go to Antarctica to train in the frigid cold for a year. Then we got to get on a submarine and train for a year, because the pressure on Mars is different, and then what mimics that pressure is on a submarine. So we've wasted 3 years training before we ever even got on the ship. So we joke with the kids to say, okay, we trained for 3 years. It took us 4 years to get there. What happens if we don't like it, want to head back? 4 years to get back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot to think about.
I'm sure y'all talked about how much it takes to become an astronaut.
How much it
and
takes.
sometimes it takes all that, and you never get a chance to.
And never get a chance. Some people train, forever to be an astronaut, but never get to go up. Never get to go up. It's really by luck that you get to go up, because there are a lot of qualified people.
Right.
But by luck, you get to go up.
But it's nothing wrong with being an astronaut. And having that label,
Absolutely.
I would take it and stay here on Earth.
Absolutely. So this is our 6th grade program.
Right. This is great.
You know.
So program. Ladies, I want to thank you again for the tour. And like we said earlier during our conversation, we're going to continue to follow you all and the program. And hopefully you'll get all the funds you need.
We
You
hope
get all
so.
the space you need. And the help you need.
Yes.
The volunteers. And Portsmouth Coffee Talk is in your corner. And we're going to be here to follow you and do everything we can to get the word out.
Great. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
All right. We appreciate you
Thanks
both.
for stopping by.
Thank you.